On this episode of Teachers Off Duty, we're talking about the first day of school glamour and Gabe's horrible classroom decorations.
Hey!
Stay tuned. Welcome to Teachers Off Duty. This week we are talking about all of our end of summer plans and the chaos that is back to school because it's coming around the bend.
It's the saddest time.
Unfortunately.
The last week before you go back to school is like an entire week of the Sunday scaries.
Well, listen, okay, so as an adult, like I hate my birthday now. Because I have an August birthday.
Always back to school.
So my
Pour the
birthday,
love.
but it's not even this. It's just not even just an August birthday. But my birthday is August 16th.
Ooh, that's
We
like
go
prime-
back to school August 17th.
Wow, we'll have been back in
gosh.
school for 2 weeks. But
So
go ahead.
my birthday is like the signification of end of summer. I don't even know that's a word.
It makes me
but
so sad.
Signifies
It's the signification.
The signification.
Signification.
the
I
Massachusetts
got my summer
Constitution.
brain on currently. Okay, I didn't turn
She
the
don't
teacher
speak
brain
too
back
goodly
on.
in the summertime.
I'll speak goodly in the summer.
That's right. Just boo. We see the drop off of kids
I
with
do
the
feel like
teacher
I lose
drop
a little
off.
brain cells over the summer.
100%.
I go in feeling like I don't remember what I have to do.
Yes.
And I always know it like it's. Have you ever people are gonna probably think I'm the weirdest person. Have you ever woke up and like it smells like the first day of preschool?
Yes.
Like, do you ever get that feeling?
No, I do.
Yes. Like you
Okay.
walk outside and it feels like the first day of
Yes.
I
like.
try not to
The
inhale
first
in
day
middle school
feels-
because that must have knocked me
Yeah,
out. So I don't take no deep. You got to take shallow breaths
It's
in
like
middle
when it's
school.
like super sunny out, but it's like
outside.
dewy out, and it's like
It's kinda chilly.
No, when
Yeah,
you go
okay.
outside, and it's like and you're like it's like
Yes.
crisp, and then you're like, but it's also the time of panic where you're like, oh
Yeah.
god, it means
Yeah.
school's
Because
coming
it's
back.
like fall when the little crisp comes in the air. It reminds me of football season.
It's the
I'll
yeah,
describe
first
to you
day
what the
feels-
first day of middle school smells like. It smells like
I'm scared.
body odor.
Body spray.
You can smell the social awkwardness in the air. You can just see it in their eyes that they're scared. You can even it's a different
Fumigates the entire hallway.
Fumigates.
Just-
Fumigated.
Fumigate.
Wait, what?
Fumigates.
Fumigates.
Hey, man,
People
do we need
are
a-
probably scared of listening to this episode.
Fumer.
Like, are they okay?
We teach your
It's
kids.
the end of summer. No, we're not okay.
Nobody's okay.
How do you like I don't know how to prepare myself because I do this thing where I'm like, no, you know what? Enjoy your last like week or two. Self-care, do all this stuff. But then I feel guilty if I'm not like really getting ready and preparing.
I keep telling myself, I'm like, go ahead and start waking up at the
No.
earlier. Because when Peyton's not at home, bro, I'll be sleep till noon. Like effortlessly.
You know you had a rough school year the year before when like you wake up at noon every day in the summer.
Yeah.
Because I remember my first
Yes.
year teaching, like
Sleep.
it was rough. And
Yeah.
then every single day that summer, I don't think I got up before noon once.
Oh my
telling
You gotta
god.
recharge.
I mean,
Yeah.
I didn't have any responsibilities. I don't have any
Right.
children. Like I lived at home
Responsibilities.
at that point still, so
Yeah.
I was dead.
I always
No,
laugh at every school year. It always works this way. Like 2 weeks before school starts, I'm doing what you said. Like I'm gonna start waking up early. Like I'm gonna get back in my sleep schedule, and it doesn't happen until like the day before.
before.
The night
yeah,
before.
yeah.
I'm like, all right, I'm preparing myself now for this. I'm like, wait, no, school's tomorrow. Like I'm not preparing myself.
I always worked.
I have to wake up at 7:30.
I always worked a summer job, and so then what I would do is I would tell them I'm not going to be in like this last week before, right? And then that would turn to like, oh, but we really need help Tuesday. I'm like, okay, I'll just come on Tuesday. So it's like I always try to take off a week or two before school starts so I could, set up my classroom. I didn't set up my
Enjoy
classroom.
the summer.
Yeah, and then I sit there and I'm like, and no, every time I feel like I work up right against it.
Yeah.
It's
I have the week before summer as like a blackout date for me. Blackout dates for going into
blackout.
to
Yes.
blackout. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, to go into the classroom because there's times where during the summer, like, oh, I kind of have a low key day. I might go into the classroom and maybe do some work. But I always say the week leading up, I am not going to step foot in there because I don't want. You got to have your time. You got to have
need
that
my
last
time.
week.
Don't come for me.
Is that the week you go in?
No.
Yeah, it is.
I'm at least in my classroom like maybe 5 times throughout the
But
summer.
that's your personality,
Yeah.
though.
Yeah.
Like,
Like,
no,
it's
but I mean
organizing.
like 5 times, like 5, like days long times.
No, that's your personality.
this
yeah,
is-
Like,
but this
I
is-
don't like that about myself.
How much do you get done though? Because like here's what I think too. If you realize it's a random Wednesday and you're like, oh gosh, I have nothing planned, but if I go in today to get this stuff around, does that mean you get to take the full week off before school, or you know what I mean? Because if you went in 5 times and it was not that it was just you weren't doing anything that day. Better than I feel like the week of before then you don't get that time off because
I mean, sometimes, but like, it's not like that. It's like, I'm just a busybody and like I have to create projects for myself. So like I can't sit around at home and do nothing. Like, and I'm not trying to sound any type of way.
No,
like, I
I'm
would
with you.
love
Yeah.
to be that kind of
Right.
person where I would just sit on the couch and enjoy being relaxed. I physically cannot. I'll sit there and I'll think of all the things I want to do, and I'm like, oh, I really think I should change my classroom theme this year, and I'll
that
go
might be
do that
just
and
about to
laminate
ask that.
everything, or
Yeah.
I think I can just rearrange my entire library of 500 books. Let me go do that. Like,
laminate all the things.
I don't understand why I am that way, but like, it's fun for me.
Yeah.
I think as an English teacher, like I'm not gonna lie, like I know I don't crucify me, y'all, but I'm just saying I do get a little excited the week before school starts. It's a new school year. I'm excited. I can't wait to meet my new kids.
That's
meet
the real
new
purpose
coworkers.
of summer break
like,
is so that you actually don't hate your job the next
Yeah,
year.
exactly.
It really
You
is,
need
though.
you need like a cool off period.
Yeah, it's like
and then
bittersweet.
you love your job again in August.
for
Our-
a day.
Like
and
right
when
now,
the
we're
kids come
just
back.
trying to like it's still May right now while we're filming this, and
Yeah.
like we're just trying to make it through. And like I don't know what I'm even teaching on Monday,
My
but
exams on Monday. I don't know.
August I'm like I'm gonna plan this and this and,
Yeah.
and
I get excited about
Get
like
excited.
changing my classroom around, like getting like new decorations,
New supplies.
laminating, new supplies,
school supplies,
figuring out what new systems I want to put in place. Like all the things.
as I go in, it's like coming up with that theme because the school has an overall theme, and then we kind of
Oh, y'all have a
match
theme
it.
as a whole school?
This whole
Mine
school will
did.
have like
My old one did.
building success. So it was like a building theme that year, and then like it was like ride the wave to whatever. And so
That stuff
so it was
they
like-
be coming out with.
Yeah.
Reach
I
for the
love that.
stars.
and it's like
Space.
so like I've said this before. We went all out one year, and I mean we put like paper, like these giant paper things, because they tell you, especially when teaching young kids, to drop the ceiling, and so we
What is
put,
that? What
is
do you mean?
this?
So to drop the ceiling is like so it's not so tall, so it's a little bit shorter. So it's like a
just
small
depth perception
Like
or
yeah,
something
so
like
it's
that?
just so they don't feel like such a vacant space.
Like little tiny
Yeah,
peanuts.
and so we did these like really cool what it looks like waves, and then I saw this thing where they put like if you put like a cutout of like a sea turtle or something on there, then the light hits it, so it looks like a sea turtle swimming.
Oh, cool.
We do all this. I mean, we spend hours, okay?
Yeah.
How
and the
cute.
fire marshal
It's
comes
cute.
in.
Oh,
And he takes a ruler out and was like, "That's not 18 inches from the ceiling. Is this like the flame resistant paper?"
Oh,
We
shoot.
had to.
You want to start a fire.
I was devastated. I mean, hours, and I was like, "Cool." But I need to know this. What does your classroom look like? Do you decorate? Because it's either immaculate or it looks
No. All
terrifying.
right, so
Well, given what he gave us for Christmas,
I guess that's true.
I know where my skill set is. My skill set is not interior design.
So your
If you-
classroom look like trash.
Yeah, 100%. If you think of like the most stereotypical
Guy,
male,
middle
like I got a
school
couple
science
posters,
teacher.
a couple
How
sport
do you
pictures
live
up.
like that?
That is what my room looks like.
I feel like there's
our friend Gasper has a great bit that he's posted about the difference between like elementary teachers
Yeah.
and
Oh, I mean-
secondary. Talking about
Shout
how,
out to Stand Up Randazzo.
yeah, shout out Gasper. He talks about how elementary teachers like they got a freaking carpenter in there,
Yeah.
building stuff, building everything, and in secondary it's like I got blood on my wall.
His classroom is super bad too, though. Like
That's
his
how
class-
my room looks. I've got the like my what we call the board, the
Whiteboard?
No.
Bulletin
bulletin
board?
board. The bulletin
God.
board. I've got
It
photos
is
on
rough
This
there.
man don't
He
even know what the
doesn't even know
decoration
what
I
is.
haven't changed my bulletin board in 3 years because it's all pictures. Like the fun bulletin board are all pictures
the
of
children.
What does your fun bulletin board look like?
just pictures of my life. Just pictures. I went to
Oh,
Walgreens
yeah.
and
Okay.
printed them out.
You're the teacher who, if I have to cover your class, I can't wait to get out of there because there's no, it's not a calming space. Like if I had to go cover your class when it was the end, I'm like, oh man, I gotta leave. Your class, get me out of this death
See,
trap.
the reason I know that that's the
Sad in
case is
here.
because my brother is also a middle school science teacher, and his classroom, his wife literally went in and did all the
Decorated
bulletin
his
boards for him, and like used her Cricut and made all these cute like. football
love it. I love
cutouts, and
it.
like at one point he even had like a class pet. He had 2 leopard geckos, and their names were Dee Dee and Dexter.
Aww.
So like
Shut up. That's
she drew pictures of like the leopard geckos on the bulletin board in chalk and put like Dee Dee and Dexter. Like she like decorated the whole thing for him. Otherwise it was just like the Cleveland Browns flag and
Yeah,
like
I
the
know.
Guardians
I was
Just
flag.
slap a poster, and then I'm like, bro, just don't even put the poster up. Just add an insult to
No
injury.
kid is
The
looking
kids
at that poster.
The kids make fun of me for it being so bare, and they're like, "You gotta decorate it." And one day I was like, "Fine, I'll decorate it." And I started, and they cut me off. They're like, "No,
oh,
it looks
stop,
worse."
stop.
But it's
It looks
science. Like
worse.
you could easily get bell jars and
He ain't
put
gonna do
a mini skeleton in there or something like that.
Yeah,
Will Annie decorate your classroom?
I mean, she would if I asked.
Ask her.
I need to. I need to. But like, I'm scarred
Annie.
from the other years of like trying to decorate stuff. Like, there was years that I had.
Hold on.
I had class
What was
pets.
your trying to decorate? What was it?
The bulletin board that's still up.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
That,
You kids want to see decoration?
I know you
Push pin in a photo.
You pull one of those photos out. It's like when it's a completely different
Stained.
color
yeah.
underneath.
Color.
yeah, I tried.
bleached.
I just.
At least you're a fun
not
teacher.
Good. I try to be
You're the
fun.
fun
My
teacher.
desk is cool. I did get one of the best compliments ever from a kid. They said that my desk is the funnest desk. I've got cool things on my desk.
Is it
I've
the
got,
funnest?
It's the funnerest. Like, it's the best.
He's like, I like to decorate my space, but the kid's space is trash.
Yeah.
Like,
My mom loved her dearly. So she I've said it before, she grew up in Poland, grew up in communist Europe.
Yeah.
And everything there is gray. It's just gray and
Gosh.
it's not fun to look at. And I let her go in my classroom. I'm like, yeah, check out my classroom. This is cool. And she goes, oh, that's kind of reminds me of Poland. I was like, what do you mean? She goes, yeah, it's kind of like communist gray. I'm like, all right, I gotta re-up this a little bit.
If your mama said,
Yeah.
oh my God.
He's like,
that's when I decorated my desk.
Mother knows best.
Oh, I do have my favorite decoration I put up. I've got my one Christmas decoration. I got it from Hobby Lobby a couple years ago.
Oh, Lord.
I sling it on my desk, and it's a couple of reindeer. And I put it up this last year thinking the kids are going to love it, and they just made fun of me. Like, is that it? I'm like, yeah, this is like Christmas.
Is that it?
It was,
Ew,
so
David.
maybe this school
School
year,
year going
my
in.
goal will to be make a fun. I'm just gonna have Lauren come decorate.
We're gonna
That's
FaceTime.
what I'm gonna do. That's what I'm gonna
we
do.
should
You're gonna
ship
fly
him. We
me
should
to
ship
ship
him his
decorations.
decorations,
Yeah.
and then FaceTime him while he's putting them up,
Yes.
Yeah.
and tell you, no.
Oh no! You know what we could
I need
do?
that.
We could pull like a not Room Raiders. What was the other show?
Room Raid-
no, that was on MTV. What was the show that was
Extreme
like they
Makeover.
would
Trading
or-
Spaces.
Trading Spaces,
Oh.
where we'll just kick him out, but instead of trading spaces, we'll just take
kick you
over
out.
the
Yeah,
space.
just get
Yeah.
out.
it'll be
And then we'll decorate it for you, and then like we'll blindfold you
Yeah.
and bring you back in and be like, look at this
Move.
space.
They need Queer Eye, but for like classroom
Yeah.
decoration.
Yes.
I mean, I'll go in.
That'll be our TV show.
Yeah, that'll be my
Oh, God.
yeah, we'll come up with a fun little witty name for it.
Yeah.
I'll
Okay.
come
So that's
decorate.
the game plan. We all gotta fly to
That's
South
what we're
Dakota.
gonna
So
do.
the
Back to
people-
school time. We're going back to school with Gabe.
Gosh.
the professional development time.
Oh.
Okay, I once heard somebody say the best professional development sometimes is the teacher across the hall, because that's normally the only professional development that I need. And here's the deal: I'm not hating on professional development if it's something productive, but
100%.
y'all been doing the same professional development. How many
All day.
times do I have to watch this bloodborne pathogens video
Oh,
that
my
ain't changed
gosh.
since 1978?
And then you have to take the test.
Wait,
Yes.
you mean I shouldn't touch the blood with my bare hands?
Oh my
Yo,
gosh.
why did I have to tell somebody that the other day? I was like, hey, don't touch the blood.
You have to
It was
put the
like
sprinkle stuff
touching
on it.
and letting their kids touch it. I'm like,
No.
don't
No,
do
ma'am.
that. So maybe the bloodborne pathogens training actually is important.
No, that
Things I never thought I'd say in my classroom.
Right.
Don't touch
Don't
the
touch
blood.
touch the blood.
We
Oh,
had
man.
when I was at Head Start, I've told you guys this before because everyone's like, oh my God. We go back like 3, sometimes 4 weeks before school starts. So you go back in July.
To decorate or like
No, so you have
We're
to
gonna give
What
you guys
other
4
reason
weeks
would
of
there be?
decoration time.
because it's a federal program, you have to learn every new standard or law that they passed. So we have to read them out loud, and so that we know
Wait,
that
there are 4 weeks of new laws and standards every year?
for the
Where you
for
just
the
popcorn read all of
for
them?
education and the Fed. So you do that, then you have to do a certain number of like PD, and then you have to do home visits.
Oh, yeah.
So,
you did say
so
that.
wild.
it wasn't a
You have
bad
to do
thing
that?
when I had. We went to one class. It was one all-day class of AM and PM. When we had AM and PM, we had 34 home visits due before the beginning of the school year, and they had to be an hour each.
Wow.
And you had to travel there. So we would have to go back 3 to 4 weeks beforehand in a hot gym. It was just so when that's also the thing is like and then if there's a random if there's a random Monday you could go back into you could go to your classroom and decorate, get things set up. But it was the back I think that's what I gear up for, because once I'm in the classroom with the kids again, that is so fun. It's the getting to that point that's
It's the 5 days of PD, and then why do they never give us our rosters until
because they know
the day before? I'm like,
they
hey
know.
yo, why you've had this since the first day we were here? Like, I'm excited to know which kids. And my school, because it's in a small town, it's a small school. My kids have all been in school with each other since kindergarten.
Yeah.
So it's like
Same.
the kids
Our
from
school, I mean, I told you guys, my whole school, K-12, is like 500 kids.
right. Yeah. So I want to know if I got JJ that was running down the highway last year and we know he a runner. I need to know if his name on my list so I can properly prepare.
I always get so anxious for that
running
meeting. What we do during the week before, we'll have like the counselor come to our team and they'll be like, all right, let's go through the roster and just kind of poke out some things that you might need to know. And it's always so funny how they sugarcoat the things. Like, this Jimmy, big personality. He really likes to move his hands around and punch people in the face. So just let you know.
Sometimes they make contact.
Oh, so Jimmy fights kids.
He's a very active learner.
Yeah, very active learner.
He's hands-on.
Yeah,
hands-on.
Like our school, we go through that and we go through like kids like, hey, this kid had some trouble last year. Just let you know, here's what you should be prepared for. And that's always such good information. So
Right.
I always like that.
I know that like we always say like give kids a fresh start. Like
100%.
which we do, but there's nothing wrong with knowing ahead of time like some of the things you might encounter.
I'm like torn on that. Like, because I feel that way. I get wanting to know about things that may have worked with a kid in the past or whatever, if they are a behavior. But also, I've also encountered where I've had people go, "Oh my gosh, like you get ready because this kid," and like they tell me like the worst of the worst of the worst, and they're like trying to put this picture of this kid in your head where they're like, "He's the worst kid ever had," and then I get the kid, I'm like, "He's not that bad."
Yeah.
Your classroom
and kids, especially when they're younger, they change so much year to year, and we found that out.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I'm like, you're
so
setting that
much-
kid up for failure when you go, "Oh yeah, this kid."
Well, when we've had it
like,
a bunch of
don't do
times
that.
where like a kid will go from 6th grade to 7th grade, and the 6th grade teacher's like, "Yeah, be careful. We had this issue with the kid last year," and then they'll get on medication or they'll have a med switch, and all of a sudden they're a completely different kid. And I'm the type where I give a kid a fresh start. Every single day, you get a fresh start. But I really like knowing what their history is, so I can be prepared for it.
And I think that's important. Like we do notes to the next the next teacher on the kids, and it's not like you write the negatives, just you write because all that stuff too, you have to that goes to parents, and I don't want a parent to feel bad. But I remember we can have the kids for 2 years in Head Start. If they come in at 3, they can stay until they're turn 5. So there's a kid coming over from another school, and we had a meeting with the mental health director, us, our principal, with the parents about this kid's behavior. And oh my God, you need to prepare yourself. We're gonna get a wraparound for him, all this stuff. Never was an issue. Came in.
What's a wraparound?
A wraparound is someone with the child all day, like a para, but just for one child.
So I was like, take bubble wrap and wrap it
Yeah, I
down.
was like, y'all
The
wrap it
wraparound,
up.
the
Protect
wraparound just
them.
follow and the kid was never. When I say never an issue, I mean never an issue. And so it's like then that's like they said because then I went in
Sometimes it's a
geared up.
personality clash.
Sometimes it
100%.
is.
Sometimes that's what
Sometimes
it is.
it
I
is.
mean, let's be real. Like, we have personalities because we're human, and not
Sometimes.
every student is going to work the same with each kid or each teacher.
Absolutely.
It's just not going to work that
I
way.
agree.
Yeah, some kids act up with certain teachers, and it's just how it goes. Doesn't mean it's a bad
100%.
teacher.
Doesn't mean that
Yes.
they don't like you or you're a bad
Right.
teacher. Yeah, it just means that that kid maybe like gels better with somebody else.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Did you guys, when you were, maybe this is just a us thing, but maybe a week before school when I was a kid, our elementary school would post up the class lists.
Oh my gosh.
And you get like
Yes.
a phone call because the emails, I don't even think were a thing yet. I mean, they were, but no one was emailing. This was like 95, 96. and you'd go to the school, and it was like
on the front door.
It was looking at a cast list, or
yeah, it was like cheer tryouts.
Yeah, and you go there and you'd see who you had. Yeah, and people would be so upset, and like I think AIM was a thing. I do remember this.
What's that?
Shut up.
Instant messenger.
AOL Instant Messenger. AOL.
Instant messenger.
AIM.
I've heard of AOL, but never AIM.
I've heard of AOL.
I've heard speak of AOL.
All right, so you know how you
texting.
said.
It was like texting.
So you were doing that. What year was that?
95, 96.
Don't even say it. Don't even say
Born
it.
in 98.
Wow. Oh my.
Okay, I was born in 94, so shush.
I was. So you were being born, and I was like, "Do I have Miss Hawkins?" I remember also like dreading if I got my older sister's teacher. Because she was amazing, and I was not. So, are you smart as your sister? I'm like, I'm in 4th grade, I can't read, and I'm not joking. Like, I was like, wait for the disappointment, ma'am.
Oh my gosh.
Wait. Dude, I posted, I just got my graduate degree, and I posted about it, and I literally had one of my elementary school teachers be like, oh my God. Like, how?
They did not say how.
No, they didn't say how, but they said, oh my God.
No, I've had teachers that have like seen me and my twin in the grocery store or something and been like, oh, look at how y'all turned out. Wow.
You guys are still here?
How'd y'all be locked up?
I know.
The night before the first day of school, ever since I was in school, I never sleep. I'm so anxious.
Oh, wow.
I remember
Y'all don't sleep.
I'm too excited.
Oh, I never sleep. I'm anxious, and like as a kid.
It's because my medicine.
Oh, okay.
That'll do it. But I remember as a kid being anxious, and then I remember when I like graduated, I'm like, oh, I'll never have to experience that again. Then I became a teacher.
You experience it every year.
I experience it every year.
Yeah.
It's just like you just know that your entire 9 months are gonna change in 24 hours.
Right. Yeah.
And that's a weird feeling.
Right.
It's crazy. But it's also fun because it's a whole fresh start.
Yeah.
It's a brand new school year. Yep. And you think about, okay, what were the things I did last year that I wish I could change?
Absolutely.
Yes.
And then you implement that. And I think it's so important. What I try to do, it's really important, like during the school year, write down things that you wish you would change. You know, so if it's January and you're struggling with something with classroom management, have that written down. So then when you re-implement your classroom rules, when the new kids come through, then you're not going to have that same issue. I do a lot of that. And
What's
handy.
the thing with people telling folks not to smile until...
I hate
Are they being sarcastic? Is that hyperbole, or are they being for real?
I've heard that too.
Are they being for real?
Not even that. Okay, so there's this like, I don't know what to call it, but like
Hyperbole is
people will say
over-exaggeration.
don't
smile till Christmas.
Don't smile till Christmas.
Yeah,
like they use
I'm
that,
sorry.
or they'll say like,
Why do they say
you
that,
can
though?
you can always ease up, but you can never get tougher. So you have to like be tough for the first like however many. I'm like, okay, but that's a great way to make kids fear you.
Well,
But
and
what's with the
like,
not smiling,
I hate
though?
to use the phrase build a relationship, but like
no, for real though.
you
Like,
have to. You have to.
I just don't. What I look like on the first day of school, like just talking and not smiling.
Yeah.
Like somebody
I
got to
think-
laugh at my jokes because the kids are too scared to move. Like I don't.
we
Yeah.
talked so many
They're
times
nervous that first
about
day.
I mean, I'll say it for myself. I did not have a beautiful childhood, and I remember going back to school was a relief and a safe space. And I can't imagine my teacher being like walking in, like I got enough of that at home. I'm like excited to be here, and like you know, and so I can't. I don't know. My God, the idea of not smiling.
The only thing I can think is like maybe they're trying to use that as like a metaphor to like say like you
Establish
need to
boundaries.
be like you need to be,
I
but like
would
say
hope so.
something
Yeah.
else,
I mean,
bro. Like don't.
I don't literally think someone's like, oh, I'm never gonna smile until Christmas. No, but like, yes, establish expectations and boundaries.
Right.
But you can also do that while showing that you're a human,
Right, because who has the
and
fortitude
that
to
you're,
like
I don't.
do that
like
till
a
December?
nice person.
Yeah.
Because like
Right.
no kid wants to behave for a person that's like a jerk to them.
Yeah.
Well, do y'all feel like I feel like when I was in school, I feel like when I was a kid, I never saw as much of my teacher's personality as our kids see of our personalities. Is that just like a generational thing,
No,
or like what is that? Because
Well, I mean, I think we'd have to ask kids. Because like we
Yeah.
assume that they see our personalities.
I
And
ain't lie
think
to you, big dog.
I would
know.
agree. No, but
Yeah.
I would agree. But I'm saying, like, from their perspective, do they feel that way?
I don't know.
Because
You
I
what
feel
mean?
like my 6th graders don't think we sleep at school. But when I was in 6th grade, I don't know, for some reason, I thought my
Yeah.
teacher slept at school.
Well, and that's why my bulletin board that hasn't changed in 3 years is pictures of like what I do outside of school, you know,
Yeah.
and showing that stuff. And what I want kids to come to leave my classroom with after the first week of school. I want them to know 2 things. I want them to know, one, that I care about them,
Yeah.
but I also want them to know my classroom expectations.
100%.
I'm really big on emphasizing those 2 things. Let them know, hey, I'm here for you. I care about you.
Yeah.
I love you. I'm glad that you're here, but here are my classroom rules.
Yeah.
And I think something that people should implement, because I do this with pre-K kids. If I can do it with pre-K kids, you literally can do it with any group, is you collectively come up with the rules. And that doesn't mean that if the kids don't say your rule, that you don't put it down.
Are you talking about with the kids?
Yeah,
that's cool. Have you done
we
that?
don't.
Yeah, I make the because
guidelines.
I do the 5th grade constitution.
Oh yeah, that's
okay. I
right.
don't need to.
We do guidelines. So we'll sit there. I don't call them. I was like, what are these guidelines? And then what we do is we put like picture thing because they can't read. So we do picture things with them.
Bless it.
But I'm like, what do we think? Do we like?
Cuties.
And if they haven't said, if I'm like, we need to use listening ears when reading a book or something, because I don't need them necessarily to sit down. They can stand in their spot. They can whatever they So I'll be like, what do you think about if I'm reading a book? Do you think you guys should be like yelling or playing with toys? And they're like, no. So then but that's a rule they didn't say. But I need that to be in their guidelines. So I'll prompt it with that. But I think as they're older, I think it's a thing of like what is your expectations for me, and here are my expectations for you, and what is our classroom.
I do that. Like so I do that even in 5th grade. They're 10 and 11 years old. And so what we do is I'll just straight up tell them, I'm like, I don't set rules. I'm like, we have expectations for everyone involved.
Okay.
Because I'm like, we need our classroom to be a safe space. We need it to be a place you can learn, and we need it to be a place that you feel welcome. And so then like we come up with different scenarios, or like they'll shout out the obvious ones they've heard over and over again, like raise your hand to talk, stay in your seat, like things like that. But like I'll never make something that says like a don't do this, don't do this. Like we always flip it so that it's like something you should do.
Yeah.
And I'll do the same thing, like scenarios, and I'll just be like, okay, well, what if like we all have to get in line, and one person's at the other end of the classroom. Should they like sprint to get in line?
Yeah.
And like, no, because I could fall.
What kind of beginning of the school year activities do y'all do with your kids? Not like icebreakers, because don't nobody like that.
I got one.
But
What do you do?
yeah,
So my favorite one I do every year is the toothpaste challenge.
Yeah, put it back in. Yeah, you can't.
So I'll give them all just a bowl and like a little travel toothpaste thing and a toothpick. And so I'll say, okay, I want you guys to squeeze all the toothpaste out of this tube as fast as you can. Go. And they all squeeze it out into the bowl.
Right.
And I was like, wasn't that so much fun? Like, you've never gotten to do that before. Like, So then I'm like, okay, I'm going to give you guys like 30 seconds and I want you to take the toothpick and put it all back. And they're like, what?
you can't do that.
Can't. Yeah. So then I'll start the timer, and it's just like they're funny because they're trying to literally shove it back in there.
it.
Yeah. They're like, I'll get this done.
Especially the competitive ones.
Right.
Oh, always. They're like, I did. And it's still all in the bowl. And
Right.
So then afterwards, I just ask them, like, why do you think we did this? And they never get it. But basically, it's just like a huge, metaphor for like, saying mean things is really easy, but you can't take it back once it's said.
Right.
Yada, yada, yada. But I love doing that one every year.
Teacher.
What I do with my kids is I give all of them a name tent. They all have a name tent. I have them write their name on the front of it, and then on the inside of it, so nobody else can see it, I have them write down three interesting things about them. So I say, okay, tell me 3 interesting things about you, or 3 things that you wish I knew about you.
And you teach what grade?
7th grade.
Okay.
So they buy into that, and it's one way for me to make sure I remember their names. And then the next day, what I like to do is, as those kids come in, I'll go by and talk to them and say, oh, hey, Jimmy, I didn't know that you like NASCAR. That's really cool.
Yeah.
Or, hey, Sally, I didn't know that your
good.
parents are farmers. That's
a good
really
idea.
cool.
Yeah.
And it's just a way to build that relationship right away.
I like that.
Because like at the elementary level, you can do that with the toothpaste. But for secondary, I can't buy 120 tubs
Yeah,
of
120.
Like every level is different. And then as you go
My
into
sister-in-law is a dental hygienist, so I get that for free.
She is the plug.
yeah. But then when you go to high school, that's a different game as well, because those kids, especially as they're older, they don't want to do some of those entry level things. Some of them are ready to get into content right away. And when I taught high school health, we did a lot of like learning each other's names. And the reason why we did that was relating it to the curriculum and talking about like relationships, healthy relationships. What does it take to build relationships and trying to tie all of that together.
Yeah.
So that was a lot of fun. I enjoyed doing that.
That's
What do you do?
I just introduce myself and show a PowerPoint. In the end, I don't know.
Content on day one.
No, I was.
She's like, I say hi.
So I feel like the last because I feel like coming from an alternate route program, like I just wasn't as like creative. So like I started.
I don't want you to think
more,
I'm creative. I didn't create these things.
I know, but I'm saying like you.
Good teachers are good thieves.
Yeah.
Interest.
You think about like good thing, like you have like a creative mind. Like even if you didn't necessarily like come up with it, like the going to look for
You're
something.
still implementing it.
Correct.
Yeah.
So I like this upcoming year, like want to try some of the stuff that you guys have done. But normally I just do like I let them like play a game where they get to know each other, or we like just kind of talk like as a whole class, like after I introduce myself, or I'll do like a, not a packet, but like I do like a teacher newsletter type
nice.
of sheet to like let them know some information about me. And then on the back of it, it's like a sheet to get to know them. And they're like, are you really gonna read this? And I'm like, yes. And normally for ELA, I'm like, tell me what you did over the summer.
Yeah.
But so I'm not like super creative like with that, but we more so have like conversations.
But that's
Yeah.
your
Because
style.
I want to get to know them. Like I don't
everyone has
necessarily
different
do like a
things they like to do.
hands-on.
I think the conversation, even just asking the simple question, what you did over the summer, gives such a big insight of what their lives are like.
Yeah.
Yes,
So it's like you also get
I
to
love
know
to read
that.
those.
Yeah, because then it's like you like I think like, and I like that you asked for the 3 facts, because then if they're not doing well in something you're teaching, you can relate it back to, okay, well, I see that and hear your family's affirming you want to do farming, and this is why science is important when you are doing that. I think building a relationship with, I know it's like we always like kind of like, oh God, because we always see that on like that, but like that is important.
fun.
and
But like all the things that we're doing are all building the relationships
Yeah,
with our
100%.
students so that they trust us and that they can learn from us.
Yeah, kids thrive on knowing a schedule, and when they don't know a schedule, especially when they're young, it can get it can get
they wanna
scary.
know that
This is their first experience out for some of these kids. Imagine this is their first time ever in a setting with other children.
That's how
like
Peyton
this is
was.
it's
I was very
terrifying.
nervous for her.
So we go around, and the first day, we have tablets at our school, and so I will take pictures of the kids doing that activity. So if we were playing, then there's a picture of them playing. If they're at recess, if they're having lunch, if it's nap time, if it's story time, and then we put it on the board so they know what comes next, because they might not know how to read it, but they say, okay, this is a picture of Joanne playing, and then now this is a picture of her cleanup, so we clean up next, and then after that, I see a picture of Bobby at story time.
It's been cool to see. Last year was cool to see, like, from the stuff that you've been talking about, to actually watch my daughter in preschool and like equate it to what you're talking about is actually really cool. I love when her teacher sends me a picture of like if they're making like a marshmallow snowman or they did, bumblebee, whatever.
Yeah.
Like I like those kind of like arts and crafts. Now, as a preschool teacher, please tell me on Al Gore's internet, what am I supposed to do with all this stuff y'all be sending home,
my
baby?
gosh,
All this
listen,
arts and crafts, I
listen.
could build a museum.
So we were.
I feel bad to throw it away.
My downside to teaching was I'm good at making an art and craft for myself. Like like before Cricut was a thing, I could with just cutting it out do any character, anything you wanted with just scissors. I don't know why. It was like I'm terrible at geometry, but my God, like the math started working.
Your spatial relations
oh my
were
gosh,
just
it was wild. I mean, it was absolutely wild.
awesome.
But then for
Couldn't
kids,
read it, but you could cut out
oh
some
my
good
God.
stuff.
No, and it's only cut. I can't draw. Like I could, but they would come into my classroom and it would be decorated so well. And then the downside was I couldn't think of an art project for the kids. And we do art projects and not crafts, because what we would do then is you had to have more artwork up than poster or whatever.
So student work.
But what we switched to doing is, if there's an art project, because you have to do art every day, if there's an art project we were doing, that day might be draw a picture of this. That is something that if the kid wants to take home, great. We also had folders for them. But what we try to do is we try to just do one like art sample is what we'd call them, that we would hang up or that would go on. I had like a little display thing if it was a 3D dimensional thing. And so I remember like my mom taught was a social worker for Head Start for 20 some years and seeing what the kids would give to her. And I was like, my God, I can't imagine what their parents are getting. And you learn pretty fast. Parents can't take all this home. So it's like one big art project. The rest of it's like tiny piece of paper we can put in a folder and you get at the end of the year.
Like folders and folders.
My
and
mom
I just throw
literally
most of it away.
kept everything. Like,
So you got to get a storage
kept
unit.
it all. Yeah. And but I get it. Like, I don't
keep
think
the
you should feel
important
bad.
pieces, like the
I
stuff
don't think
that I
you
can
should
tell.
feel bad if you want to throw some of it away. Like,
I have to. Like,
keep
I'm
what you
like-
want to
Yeah.
keep, and then
Yeah.
where are you supposed to put it all?
And I mean, I'm sentimental too because I don't have a lot of stuff from like I don't know what I looked like when I was a baby.
Yeah.
Like I've never
Yeah.
seen a baby picture of myself. It's not because I'm old, people.
There weren't cameras out yet, guys.
I just have never seen one, but I'm sentimental because I want Peyton, like when she
Yeah.
gets older, to be like, this is your cap and gown from preschool. Like this is an art project
Yeah.
from second grade. Like this is, so I'm like, I keep that kind of stuff. Like if I
Yeah.
can tell it's an art project that like they worked on, that's like, you know, I try to keep like one a
I've
week.
got a PowerPoint that I show my students at the beginning of the school year of all my first day of school pictures. It's
Oh my
awesome.
gosh.
They make fun of me
Can
the
I see
entire
this
time.
PowerPoint?
I know, I'm
Yeah,
nosy.
I'll
Tonight
let you
I
guys
wanna-
know. You'll see the dark years of when I was in middle school.
I think all of our middle school
The
pictures
Simple
would
Plan
be the same.
swoop.
Oh, I don't want to
Listen.
see the
Simple
Bay
Plan
Yang.
No, I gotta show you guys my fifth grade
I will never
picture.
show. I'll never tell.
It is cringe.
Oh,
like,
no.
I had a bad
I don't know why. I was like not at all, but was trying to go for like some Billy Joel Armstrong goth emo look. I'm not kidding. I had like a
Did you have a
black.
choker? A ne-
Yep.
thing?
I had a
Yup.
I had a black. A black long sleeve shirt and
No.
like a red tie.
I knew you were going to
a
say
red
that.
tie. It was like a
no.
little fashion tie.
Real skinny?
I
Real
want
skinny?
And then the little.
Yeah,
Did
was
you
it
have one of
skinny?
like the bowling hats on too?
A fedora?
Fedora?
No, honey. I had
No,
like a
honey.
little half up, half down with like a hair. You know those ponies that had hair on them?
Yes.
And you would like twist them around your hair and be like,
She is
like,
edgy.
What
She
pony
is
that had
cool.
hair on it, baby?
Yeah.
Okay, so like they would have like literally like a ponytail holder, and they would have like
Hair wrapped around
it. So you put your hair in like a little bun or a ponytail, and you put the little hair
Now,
wrap
baby,
around
if
it.
somebody who black and we got a lot of stuff out here, I ain't never seen it before.
I'll show you.
Okay, 'cause I
It's-
need the
it's
picture.
a look.
It,
I need
she-
the picture.
it was giving Avril Lavigne, ma'am.
It was very
What
much
if we all
giving
five had to
Avril
post our
Lavigne.
fifth grade pictures
Oh, I
on
could find it.
Instagram?
Mine's
Oh.
embarrassing.
Now I do have a
God.
picture
I'll do
of what
that.
I had. Me and my twin always wore the same
Outfit.
outfit until we were in.
Oh.
We wore the same outfit until we got to middle school. I think we were in 7th grade when we stopped dressing alike.
You did,
And
you-
I remember our
Is it because you
school-
wanted to? Or
No.
You, oh, okay.
No, I couldn't wait to get to 7th grade. I remember my mom telling us
Was there like a rule?
she just whatever she bought for one twin, she bought for the other. And I
Oh.
remember we look exactly the same in our 5th grade picture. We had these ugly bangs, and I think it's because my mom burned my forehead on accident with the curling iron. So I had to do the bayang. I had the bayang, and it was not cool.
I also
There's a
had
Y
the
in there.
bayangs in 5th
I
grade.
hated the bayang. Don't make no comeback.
Did you guys ever have so like when I was a kid, I was so excited about the first day outfit, and I was and I really didn't realize because I
Yep.
didn't like go to school for a teaching. I was I went the non-traditional way and like fell into it and then had to go back to school. So like my first year teaching, it was like beginning or late September. So school had already been going on for 4 weeks or so, and so I was like, oh. Like, it wasn't a big deal. But I remember my first full year teaching and starting out in that classroom, I was so nervous about what to wear.
Tell me why I looked like Linda from HR my whole first year.
Oh,
Like, when I was in college, they told me, like, you guys better be professional. You don't ever dress down. So I
if
went
you
out.
aren't wearing that pendulum shirt, ma'am.
Great fit khakis only.
No,
no wide leg?
I'm not kidding. I went out and
bottom,
bought, like,
beige
all these
Suits.
dress pants and,
Stop.
like, dress shirts and, like, I wore that to school, and then over the years, like, obviously you've seen my fat. I feel like I dress younger now than I did when I was young.
All I could
Oh,
think
I
it
look
was
like a coach at
I
school
could just
every
think of
day.
you coming in in a Hillary Clinton pantsuit every
Oh,
day. I
shit.
don't know why.
House of Cards, baby.
Yeah.
Going to the Oval.
My university was no joke. Like, the teaching program was
Yeah.
really good, but they were like
They scared you guys
hardcore
into
on their-
it.
Yes.
As soon as I found out I was a head coach, I was like, hey, can I wear athletic clothes to school? Bet. I can't wear sweatpants, but I can wear golf pants and athletic.
That's why
I can
God
wear
made
athletic clothes to
Lululemon,
school.
man.
Yeah.
Oh, those are some comfy
But why are they
pants.
so
I ain't wear
expensive?
no
I know,
Lulu.
my gosh.
Y'all can wear leggings to school?
Well, I don't wear leggings.
Shawty got a big old booty. I can't wear it.
I
Kids
have
look at me real weird
Yeah,
when I do.
I am not.
Bye,
No, like I do as long as like I can cover my backside.
can't.
Like
Yeah.
I'll like okay, so like yesterday we had our this is May again. Yesterday we had our Rock Hall project. So I wore like a band t-shirt and like leggings and I tied a shirt around my waist.
You are such a cute teacher. Can I just be like you? Can I call you and we like share lesson plans and you share activities with me?
You make me feel so good
Dude,
about myself.
you're such a good teacher.
are.
Like
you.
you're the teacher who like if I was a first year teacher, you would be my mentor teacher. You wouldn't know that you were, but I would just assign myself to you.
Also, I know this is unrelated, but my teacher bestie got rehired for next year.
Hey!
So
Yes.
I'm so excited. So first day of school, all summer long, I'm like, we're gonna do we're gonna revamp your classroom. We're gonna decorate.
Nice.
I'm like, first day of school, we're gonna be there with our little matching T-shirts and our
I'm here
coffee
for
cups.
it.
I'm so excited.
I really do get excited for the first day. I'm
I
not
do.
gonna lie.
I enjoy it.
I
The
do
first
too.
day of staff training, like you come to see like all the new teachers, see if they hired any fine coaches. See if the new principal is fine. Like
I look around and see like what everyone did with their like hair because I know people change their hair.
Oh. Did
So
they
I
glow
look at
up?
hairs.
You'd be like, oh, wow.
Every
All
teacher
the
I'm looking
hairs.
around, like, did he glow up? Nope.
He's losing his hair now.
Yeah, he's gone.
that's
No,
why I had
I'm
a stressful
I
summer.
always forget after the first week of school about how I don't have my teacher endurance yet.
oh no.
I have had so many times where I go home and the
Crash?
second I walk in, I
Tired.
just crash
Yep.
from
Yes.
5 o'clock to 10 o'clock. It's
Yes.
as if like I time warp. All of a sudden,
It's
you
so
lay
weird.
down and you wake up and you're kind of like, oh, what day is it? Like, you're like, am I late for work?
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, it's 9:45
Oh my
at
gosh.
night.
Yeah,
Like,
you're waking up
what did I
hot.
miss?
You're sweating. You don't know what
you had
year
a
it
panic
is.
attack in your sleep. That's why
You
you
wake up
sweating.
screaming. You're like, ah! Like,
you guys-
I'm so glad that's not just me because like
No.
I feel
It's-
like I got hit by a bus the first
Yes.
day to school.
Do you guys?
I'm
When do you guys
tired.
go? So we would go back on like a Thursday or a Friday.
Yeah,
which
we-
sounds so silly because you would get just acclimated in the weekend, and that I would come home on that Friday because we'd go teachers Thursday, kids Friday, pass out. Like
Yeah, we go like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday in service. Thursday, Friday, kids are there, and then a full week of school, and then
Labor Day.
But our school's awesome where we have the Friday off before Labor Day and the Monday.
Yeah, so do we.
So it's so awesome. So you get that endurance. So you don't have a full
Okay.
5
Lucky.
My
day.
school hates us because we go.
She just playing.
We have one teacher
Satire.
in service
She
day
doubled
on the
down.
17th, and then we have a 5-day school week for the first week of school.
what?
Wait.
Wow.
One in-service day, and then y'all already start?
One,
Like
maybe
that
I
Friday?
think that maybe this year we also have the Monday, so I think we have a 4-day week this
That
year.
is-
But we usually have like a 5-day week going back,
They do have
and then
time.
we have
They do have
4-day
time.
week, 4-day weekend, Labor Day weekend, and then a 4-day week.
That's too. That's like I
That
said.
would stress
Like I
me.
always tell the parents during home visits, the kids are gonna come home very cranky because they're not used to being on a schedule. Like but it's me. I'm talking about me. Like I'm
I
gonna
am
come home
kid.
cranky. I'm gonna be like pass out. Like I very much like know the feeling of what you're talking about. I wake up on the couch. I'm sweating for some reason. I'm probably crying. Like
Do y'all get to keep your keys over the summer?
Yeah.
So my new school, we don't get to keep our keys over the summer.
that's
I
right.
My
gotta
old
give
school was
my
like
key
that.
back.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what if you're like a new teacher and if they only had one day to get their classroom ready?
No, my old
before-
school was like that. They gave us it was like the week before school started was when you were allowed back in. Otherwise, they kept your key in
No,
your fob. Now
we got our key. We didn't get
I get to keep
the
it.
code. The code changed every year.
No.
But I could go into the school. I just couldn't.
I climbed through
Speaking
the
of
window.
fobs, that's a perfect segue for this week's episode of Good or Garbage with Gabe. This week's episode, Good or Garbage. I want you to think about this, all right? You're getting ready to go back to school. You find out about your in-service days, what you're doing. You look at your schedule, and all of a sudden you discover you have an entire day for planning in your classroom. Those are good. They're not garbage. I want every administrator to know this. All teachers want is classroom time. Classroom time during the week preparation before school starts, that is good.
You need classroom time. You need a good professional development and blood. You need bloodborne pathogen. You watch that video, okay?
So you're saying you can't just rub out the blood on the ground.
No,
No.
you
You
can't.
can't just
No,
use your
no.
sleeve.
You got to.
you need the gloves
And the powder stuff, or is that for
What's the
vomit?
powder?
That's fine.
Yeah, listen.
Smells so bad.
It's just.
You need to call the custodian so
Yeah,
they
no,
can get the special.
yeah,
Hey, shout out to the
cleaning.
custodians.
Oh my
Yes.
god.
Snaps
Because you know
to the
they're
custodians.
all
Okay,
summer.
Can we talk about the fresh feeling of the school when you walk back in right after summer.
And
The
it's
school,
clean and
the
waxed.
floors are beautiful. I look at my floors now. I'm like, you kids ruined them.
They waxed some hair
All
to the
their
floor
hard
in my
work.
classroom.
Those floors are beautiful.
Shampooing those. I mean, I know you shampoo those carpets because all the pee and puke stains aren't in
Hey,
there anymore.
how often do y'all clean y'all's carpets in y'all's classroom?
The custodians,
preschool.
Hey, listen. So the carpet. This is the
be
fun.
nasty.
The carpet sometimes is fine. It is for some reason that Storytime rug that was $800 for some reason. It was brand new. And we had kids that had accents all the time, and they'd come in and the not custodian, the night people. We were a private school, so we didn't have a custodial staff. So if there was a mess, we didn't do it. But they would shampoo, and then it was the end of the year, and I was rolling it up to clean up, and I was rolling it, and I'm like all the stains on the backside. I'm like, I need a new I need a new rug. They're like, we just got that for you last year. It was $800, and I showed them to it, and they're like, throw it away.
Please
Looks
throw
like
it
a
away.
dog feet on this.
Yeah.
Say no more.
It was, where I started teaching was carpet. Like that, in Indiana,
I
at the
never
public schools.
understood
that blue
that.
carpet.
It's the blue
Is it
carpet.
like
It's
this,
like this.
but blue?
Yeah.
Okay, and why do they put carpet in a preschool classroom?
Well, when I moved to Pennsylvania, it was hardwood.
No, see,
which was so nice.
Ours are like that.
Yeah.
Ours are all carpeted kindergarten
both
and
sides.
preschool classrums. Makes zero sense to me because
My
they're making the
child
most
comes
messes.
it out, baby, so she get 2 left feet.
No,
All
I
right.
couldn't.
Anyway, so I asked a bunch of people on Instagram what their back to school chaos looked like.
Oh gosh.
So I want to read a few of these off to you guys. So someone said, people looking for their classmates, yes, even in college, and wondering if their professors will be nice.
That was me.
RateMyProfessor.com.
Yep.
I did
Rate
that
my
a lot.
professor, yes.
Rate my professor.
Yes,
You can figure out if they're
it's
nice,
a real
if
thing.
they're mean. You can all that stuff.
Yeah.
Not if they're hot or not. It's
Yeah.
like rating like their teaching
No,
ability.
it's
Yeah.
it's like fair grading.
People will put comments. They'll be like, "Oh, you make sure you look at the study guide."
Is this
blah,
by
blah, blah.
school?
You can look
You
up
can
their
look
name.
up their name.
And obviously the extremes are what you see on there. So it's
Yeah.
either really good or really
Because
bad.
no, it's like writing a review for a
Like Yelp.
restaurant.
Yeah.
You're, like unless
It's
you
like
had
college Yelp.
Yeah. No one's like, oh, that was an okay restaurant.
College
Let me
Yelp.
write a review about it.
Hi, I had an okay experience at the Taco Bell.
Yeah, 4 out of 5. No one's gonna put that.
Oh my gosh.
Someone said everyone bragging about the type of school supplies they got.
Got that 64 pack.
I got that 5-star,
crayons.
5-subject
Fresh,
notebook.
fresh
pens.
expo.
The gel pens.
Oh, don't
we
even
could never
ask
we couldn't
me.
afford them, so we got the off-brand gel pens. But
Nice.
Oh.
I know.
Okay, you could relate to this.
Class.
Kids crying inconsolably on and off all day.
Oh, how do you deal with that?
So the thing is, and I've said
My
this so
BB
many times,
cried
and
the
like
first
this is why there will be so many preschool pre-K teachers like, oh my gosh, it's harder on the parents.
I cried when I got in the car after the first
tell
day.
the parents.
I cried so
Yeah.
bad.
I'm not a parent,
Oh
so
my
why
gosh,
is,
I cried
like,
so bad.
I mean, the obvious reasons, yeah, but like, why is it so hard?
My daughter had never been to school before though.
Yeah.
So
And as a
there was
stranger.
and with us, I'm about to get choked up right now. I felt like I was leaving my baby with someone that I didn't know, and for 8 hours, I was not gonna know where she was at or what she was doing. And
It's
I was
scary.
like, I sat in the parking lot and I cried, and Joel had to be like, "Bree, it's okay." Like because his even though his cousin is like the assistant director or director
Yeah.
of school, I was like, I don't care.
Yeah.
She's only been with mommy, daddy, or mama, or papa. We don't know these
Yeah.
people. I mean, I was like, she didn't even cry though. Your
was
girl
like,
was ready.
Yeah.
Bye.
Yeah.
I'm like, I birth you.
Nine times out of 10, what happens is that, like, if you think about it, like, if you're a kid and you walk into this classroom and it's always like nicely decorated and all that stuff, and look at I don't have these toys at home, and like there's other
Yeah,
kids your
it's
age.
exciting.
It's exciting. It can be scary. I will say I can count on one hand how many times we had an incident where the kid just wouldn't stop crying. Now, when that does happen, oh my God! But it's very seldom is it that they miss mom, dad, grandpa, grown up,
just
whoever's taking care of them. It's that there are
too much.
things going
It's
on.
a lot, yeah.
100%. But like, it's always her and the parents. We tell parents it's going to be hard. And what I do is, if the kid starts crying and mom, dad crying, I'm like, just go.
They
go.
do kick
and
us
then,
out.
And then I take a picture of them, like 20, if not even 20 minutes later. I take a video or a picture of them, like Just playing.
I
Like, they're
lingered
okay, I
too
promise they're
long.
okay.
They
Yeah.
was like, I lingered too long.
Because they
I
can
was
read
like,
that. Mom's scared.
They
Yeah,
kicked,
well,
they
they
was
tell
like, go.
they tell the kids at our school, like the first day of school, they're allowed to be walked to their classroom for like kindergarten, and then they're not allowed. Parents are not allowed past the
sixth
front
grade
door.
parent
you also have
walk
to-
their
and you have to
kid to
go.
class. I was like,
Yep.
how you get back here?
Yep.
Yeah.
That'd be such a cool TV show of just first day of school in pre-K and kindergarten classrooms. That'd be the cutest
Okay,
thing
have you
ever.
guys seen like the Facebook posts where it'll be like first day of school before and afters of their
Oh
kids?
my gosh.
And
You
then
do
it'll be
that at
like-
teachers.
No,
I've
it'll
seen
be
the
like a
kids
little
and the
girl
teachers.
with like these cute
Yep.
little
Cute little-
pom poms in her hair, and like she's
Her
got
toe
new stockings on, a new dress, and
does
she's
not
got
look
like her
like
little
that.
bows. She comes back home and like one pom pom is like this,
Hair
a
toe
bow
well,
is
baby.
falling off her head,
Hair toe
well.
her hose are ripped. Like
I'm telling you, there are times that I have literally almost like pissed my pants looking at these kids waking up they wake up from nap time like just like hair sweating, like all of this. I'm like, I have to.
Do
I
y'all
have to-
fix it?
Oh, I have to.
Because sometimes my baby
I have
my baby
to.
come out of school, and I'm like, nah, I know the way you sleep at home. How your hair still
no,
look like
I
that?
told you, I felt so like I felt so bad when I would send these kids home looking like that, because like they just, it looks like I didn't take care of them. And so like I had a lot of children of color, especially in Indiana, so I learned how to braid because I didn't want to like also mess up the hair that I know took hours and a lot of money to do. So I would feel horrible sending a kid home disheveled like
See,
that.
that's how I look after my first day of school nap after home. I look like it just arose from a cocoon, just like,
But he is not a butterfly baby.
looking
my
good.
principal used to tell us, get him here, get him fed, get him home.
Yeah.
Like that was like our first day of school. It's like, don't freak out if things don't go
Right.
well. Like get him
Right.
here, get him fed, get him
Yeah.
home.
Yeah.
for me, now it's not a big deal because I teach 5th grade and they know where they're supposed to go at the end of the day. But like when I taught 2nd grade, I got such bad anxiety at dismissal, trying to get everyone where they're supposed to go. Like you're supposed to go on bus 12, you need to go to bus
dismissal.
20. You're going to aftercare. You go with grandma. Oh my gosh!
When
I
I
thought I was
subbed-
gonna send a kid
when
home the wrong
when I
way.
subbed for
Yeah.
elementary, like the getting like all their gloves and stuff on, I was
Yeah.
like, figure it out. But I'm like, oh no, you're
Oh my
4.
gosh.
On the
Yeah.
first day,
Figure it out.
Genuinely need help.
That process
is
got
it
to
cold
start.
on the first day of school?
No, not
Like,
first
just-
day of school,
Oh,
but
you
just
said
after
when-
school in general. It
Not
just,
you telling my 4-year-old to put on gloves on her fingers. She don't know how to do individual fingers.
I've told people that no. If you send
I
your
could totally
child to
see Gabe
school
yelling
with
at a
gloves
preschool.
instead of mittens.
I was kindergarten cop. I was Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Oh my
It was
gosh.
just like,
That is
I
funny.
couldn't do
Freaking
it.
funny.
Oh my
I couldn't do it.
God.
But you guys, let us know some of your, back to school routines. Let us know your first day of school activities. Make sure you put that in the comments because I want some new back to school activities. I want to learn some more.
I want some new back to school activities. The English teacher and me send me all the things. Send me all the great ideas. Somebody had like a metaphor, simile, personification, figurative language wall that they did across their classroom, and I'm like, send me that.
I want to see that.
It was like I'm with all the decorations. Okay,
it.
Send
it to
me some ideas of how to decorate my classroom because
Please send help, Chad.
Literally anything.
I currently
come?
have my coffee mugs as my only decoration.
All
can
right,
switch
we are
to-
sending him decor. We will the coffee mugs.
And on that note, we're gonna go because
We have a lot of shopping to do for him.
we love you, best friends.
Bye.
Bye, guys. Trust me, your boss will never find out that you just watched that entire episode while you're at work. But what you should do is check out episodes over here. Make sure you subscribe and look at us on Apple Podcasts. Check us out on Spotify. Give us 5 stars. We'd really appreciate it.